What's up, everybody? We are live. We are going to be doing this Facebook Live today. I'm like a minute early, but I figured, hey, if you're not early, you're late, right? So I'm just going to do this Facebook Live, and we're going to talk about building a great website in terms of your speaking business and how do you just build a great website from the very get-go? Because if you have a great website, you're more likely to get hired. So let's kind of go into this, actually, and let me kind of load this page so that way I can maybe see some comments. So let's do this. All right, we'll do that. All right. So, and I'm hoping I'll be able to read the comments. All right, so what's up, everybody? This is Benji Bruce with Speaking Lifestyle, and today we are strictly going to talk about your website. So if you guys have a good website, you can put it inside the comments. If you don't have a good website, you can still put it inside the comments. And I'm going to kind of go over what's a good website, what's a bad website. We're going to go over a ton of different things. So let me see. In fact, let me actually load this on here as well so I can definitely follow along and see who's joining and everything. Because the way this thing is set up, sometimes I can't actually see who joins or who's on or anything like that. So what's up, everybody? Whoops. All right, let me turn that down a little bit. So yeah, today is going to be strictly about just building a great website as a speaking business. Just how do you build a great website to get on stages? A lot of speakers, they want to get on a stage, but they don't have a great website. And that's almost like trying to sell a product, but you don't have a great product. Actually, it's not almost. It's literally the exact same thing. The purpose of your website is essentially to sell your speech. So if you do not have a great website, it is almost impossible to freaking sell your speech. Almost impossible, but not really impossible. So let's see. Christine said, what if we already know it's not great? So if you already know that your website's not great, then you just got to think about how am I going to improve it, right? So I'm going to go over how to improve your website in just a second. But if you already know your website isn't great, you can post it as well, Christine. So you can post a link and I'll take a look at it. In fact, anyone, if you have a great website, if you don't have a great website, you can post it and I'll take a look at it if we have time. But essentially, you guys have to make sure that you have a great website because it's like I said earlier, to where if you don't have a great website, it is almost impossible to get hired. Think about it from the standpoint of someone who's hiring a speaker. So I'm looking for a speaker. I want to book a speaker, and I say, okay, let me see what you've got. Let me look at you. Now, you can send me a speaker bio, but I can care less. I don't care what a speaker bio looks like. I don't care what your bio is. I don't care what your story is. I don't care. I want to see how you are on stage. If I'm buying something, I want to see what it's like. So if I'm paying you to be on a stage, I can care less what your inspirational story is. I can care less what your bio is. I don't care. I want to see you on a stage. And so that's essentially what I'm going to look at when I go to your website. So let me see this. So Christine, let me actually go in here. Let's see Christine's website. I'll let this load in the background here. All right, yeah, guys, if you guys want to post your website, I can essentially take a look at it in just a second. But just understand that if you know your website isn't great, you have to think about how am I going to improve it. So let me show you guys this. Let's see. Let's go here. So there are essentially two different types of websites you guys can build, right? I actually like Lewis Howes' website, so that's why I'm going to show his website. There's two different types of websites you can build. There's essentially your speaker website where it sells the speech, and then there's the brand type of website that's like Lewis Howes' type of website. So there's two different types of websites you can build. Lewis's website is like a brand. He's selling him as a brand. So this isn't a website that's designed to get paid speaking gigs, even though it can just because of all the social proof he has. It's not designed to actually sell the speech. So if a meeting planner were to look at his website and they were to hire a speaker, they essentially would look for, let's say, like a funny motivational speaker rather than just looking at a nice brand like his. Like his website's freaking awesome. I mean, in terms of all the social proof and everything. And I'm going to talk about why it looks great. But in terms of building a website, the first thing is you think, do I want to build a website like this? Or do I want to build a website? Actually, let me go to Bob's website. He's inside the Speak Pro Academy. Or do you want to build a website like this? Like Bob's website is strictly about getting paid to be on a stage. So it's more of, I'm like the entertaining speaker, I'm the entertainer. So you got to think, what type of website are you going to build? Is it around your brand, or are you trying to get paid to be on a stage? And so that's the very first thing you got to think about is the purpose of your site. So let's see, Mel posted the site. All right. Christine, no videos. Okay. David. All right, cool. You posted a thing. All right. So Michael, you posted your site. All right. So I'm going to take a look at those sites in just a second, but just understand that you guys got to think, are you selling a brand or are you selling a speech? That's the first thing you think about. A lot of people, they think, should I post like my books and all that on my website? And yes, you can post that on your website, but just understand it's not about selling a $15 book. It's about selling a $15,000 speech. That's what you're focused on in the beginning. So you have to understand that if you have to choose between your book or selling the speech, sell the speech. Sell the $15,000 speech, not the $15 book. So let's actually go over why some of these websites are good. So let's see. All right. So let me first look at Lewis's website. So Lewis's website is more about building the brand. So that's why he talks about, all right, chase your dreams and that sort of stuff. He's not trying to get hired to speak on a stage, even though this can get him hired to speak. But notice the actual look of the website. So I don't have to read anything. I can just scroll through like this, and it just looks really nice. It looks really clean and everything. When I do scroll through, you'll notice that there's logos for social proof. Ellen DeGeneres has major social proof. So when people see that, they're like, oh, this guy must be somebody. Even if I don't know who this guy is, if you show this guy to someone who doesn't know Lewis and they see his website, they're like, oh, wow, this guy must be somebody because he was on freaking Ellen DeGeneres. So instantly he has credibility. As I scroll down, all this stuff looks good. I mean, in terms of this, and then you see this, you see the background with the video background. You're like, oh, wow, that's cool. The huge crowd and everything. So instantly he has a ton of social proof on his website. So this is a great website for building up your brand. On the other hand, if you want to build up a website to actually get paid, you build a website like Bob's. So when you go here, you got to think in terms of when someone's looking at your website, they want to hire you as a speaker or hire you as an entertainer or just hire you in general. You have to think, well, what exactly are they going to expect when they hire you? So when I come to his website, he has this quick video playing, and look at how engaging and entertaining the audience looks. I mean, they're clapping, they're having a great time. I mean, I haven't even scrolled down yet, and it just looks great already. And so immediately I'm thinking this guy is probably worth paying for. Now, when I scroll down, I see all the logos. I'm like, okay, wow, all right, that's impressive. Now I can click on some reviews. Okay. So the reviews essentially tell me as a meeting planner, it says, here are the reactions that you're going to get when you hire me. That's what the reviews tell me. So when I click on one of these and I watch it and the people are like, oh my goodness, that was amazing. It was just so funny. Like he said, Bob's so funny. Essentially, that's telling me as a meeting planner that this is going to be a funny guy. When I bring him in, my audience is going to die laughing. When I scroll down here, I see this here. All right. So look at this thumbnail that Bob has. And immediately I'm thinking, what is he going to do? So like, look at his foot, the way that is. I'm like, oh, what is he going to do? So it makes me just naturally want to click on the video and watch what he's about to do. And I see the big crowd as well. So that's a lot of social proof. I scroll down, once again, a big crowd, entertainer of the year, bam, ton of social proof, testimonials, more social proof where you see the audience there laughing and everything. And so all of this combines to where I say, I bet if this guy said if he said you got to pay me $10,000, I would instantly believe him. So I would say, oh, is that it? Now, why aren't you charging 20 grand? So that's essentially what I would think when I go to his website. And so we worked on his website. Like we talked about all this inside the Speak Pro Academy, but basically you'll notice all the social proof that he has. And what I first tell people to do is there are two things. You look at the layout of your website and you look at essentially the pictures of your website, the images. So notice the layout. I can just scroll through and I noticed this guy, he has a great website. I don't have to read anything. So that's what you have to think with your website. So let me go to Christine. Let me go to your website here. So first thing that popped up when I went to your website, Christine, is I saw this, like my page on Facebook. I wouldn't put this as a pop-up. So one of the things that Google and all these places are doing now is when you have pop-ups on your site, they're like, oh no, this person, they have a pop-up, let's not show their website and everything. People hate pop-ups. So you're not trying to go for people to like your page. Remember, you're trying to go for people to actually pay you to be on a stage, assuming you want to get paid to speak. So if you want to get paid to speak, it's not about liking my Facebook page. It's about, hey, I have a great website, hire me for a $15,000 speech. So you want to get rid of that. Now, as I scroll through, so first thing I do, I scroll through someone's website, right? And I don't see a lot of social proof. So when I think of social proof, I think of like big crowds. I think of, all right, videos and pictures, that sort of stuff. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of with social proof. Now, what if you don't have videos or pictures and things like that? That's actually one of the reasons why, like inside the Speak Pro Academy, I included like a ton of pictures. Where is it at? It's somewhere in here, but basically it's like a ton of pictures that you guys can use if you don't have your own pictures. It's somewhere in there. I'll look later. But basically what you can do is similar to, let me go to my site here. What you can do is you can essentially take the background of a room, like a big room, and you can take a picture of you and you can combine it like this, right? So notice the background of this room. This is like a huge empty room. This was before I stepped on a stage. You can't see the entire room, but this was before I stepped on a stage. I took a picture of the room. Then this is just a picture of me. Look at that handsome devil there. This is a picture of me that was taken from a professional photographer. I just put the picture of me on top of that. And then there's this phone app that allowed me to do this thing on the side. All I literally did was like put my finger over the side and then it just magically did that for me. And it just looks cool. So this image is just a great image to add to your website. Anyone can really do this, especially since pictures like these are like inside the Speak Pro Academy and everything. If you don't have something like Speak Pro Academy, go to Shutterstock, use stock photos and get stock photos of big rooms and combine it like this to create something similar to this image, or just create a really cool image of your website. So the first thing that you essentially want to do, so like Christine, what you're going to do is I always look at the layout of someone's website. So I look to see, okay, there's text on the left, there's the picture on the right side, and then there's text here. So I look at the layouts of websites to begin with. And if you go to a website like themeforce.net, click on WordPress. And once this thing loads, all right, so I'll look at the layout of this site right here. So if I'm going to buy this theme, I don't know how much this theme was, 35 bucks. So for 35 bucks, look at how sexy this theme can actually look. And imagine you just take your pictures and you put yourself inside of here. This just looks cool. It looks cool as all hell. I mean, there's the person right there in the middle. Look at the way that this part, the rectangle part, is around the name. So it's like, hello, I'm a singer. You can say, hello, I'm a speaker. Or just motivational speaker, Rachel Salvers, whatever the name is. And so you can essentially do that. That's literally what I do. And look at the background. The background looks really cool. I would add, like, there's the smoke background. I would add like a fading image of a crowd or something like that. As I scroll down, look at this. There's a picture of her. Then look at this pink part right here that kind of goes around the picture. That just looks cool. Like, it just looks really cool. And so I would essentially do that. You put the picture of you right there. You change the color from pink to whatever color you're using. As I scroll down here, there's these 3 notches here. I can put like maybe 1 demo video here, or maybe 3 videos here. So I can do that. As I scroll down more, look at this background here. The background looks cool. And then there's a video button. So I would just add my video, and I'd probably like keep that background actually. And then here, as I scroll down, once again, there's a cool picture here. There's that video notch. Here you can have like your podcast thing right here, right? So that's essentially all I'm doing with the website. I'm not trying to build a website from scratch. I'm just looking to see what already looks good. What's the layout that looks good? And then I duplicate it. I just put my own information inside of it. So that's kind of what you're doing in the beginning when you're working on your stuff, right? On your website. And so, Christine, I would recommend you start with the layout. You look to see, is there a really cool layout that you can buy, like on themeforce.net, or if you use the Divi theme, like I tell everybody to use the Divi theme because it's so easy. It's just like perfect, right? So first thing is you use the layout. Now, here's the thing that I really like that Christine did that most people do not do, is you immediately said motivational speaker. What most people do, what most speakers do, is they essentially say like Christine, changing the world speaker or whatever. and they're not very clear about what type of speaker they are, and it's why they don't get hired. You have to be very clear about what type of speaker you are. Are you a motivational speaker, an inspirational speaker, a leadership speaker, a sales speaker? What type of speaker are you? That's how you're going to get hired. So those are the things that I essentially focus on, right? And you have to understand that when meeting planners are about to hire you, meeting planners, or not just meeting, when I say the word meeting planners, by the way, I mean anyone who's going to hire you, whether it's like a legit meeting planner and that's the name that they call themselves, or whether it's a person at a company who's just hiring a speaker. So meeting planners, think about it from their standpoint. They essentially say, all right, I'm looking for a speaker. We're about to hire a speaker for our event, a speaker or entertainer. We're about to hire someone for our event. I need to know that they're going to get good results at our event. So how can you possibly convince them that you're going to be good at their event? How can you possibly do that? They don't care about your content. They can care less about your content. They don't care about your story. They don't care if you have this amazing story. They can care less. They want to know what's the reaction you're going to get when you step on a stage. They want to know how great of a speaker, how great of a presenter you are, and you have to communicate that on your website. If you have a great website, you will get paid big bucks. I mean, basically, I always tell people, if you want $10,000, you got to look like a $10,000 speaker. If you want to get paid, you got to look like you're worth paying for. So you always start with that website. The first thing that I do is that layout part, right? And then after the layout, I focus on the images. So I showed you guys the images, right? So like, let's say like Bob's images, right? Or his video or something. So like, look at Bob's images. Like, see the big crowd, you're like, oh, wow, all right, this guy, I mean, obviously he's done pretty well. He's got the big crowds and everything. And I start focusing on images, like here, the thumbnail, where it says, look, can't stop laughing. And you see this lady here, she's smiling and laughing. You see here, there's a standing ovation right there. And so you focus a lot on the images as well. And like here, you see him on here, he's just doing something, or well, I mean, he's juggling, but you're like, wow, that looks cool. That would add to the experience of our event. So you have to communicate that on your website. Do not worry about the copy. All the text on your website, people don't even read it. Like I guarantee you, people do not read that first. If they read it, they essentially, here's what people do. They go to your website, bam, first thing, I see your website and I scroll through it. I'm like, okay. All right, cool. So I'm like scrolling through. Now, if I like the website, I might go back and read a couple things, but I'm for damn sure not going to read your entire website. I'm not going to read everything that's on your website. Most people, they'll go to your about page and they'll look at your about page and they'll read some of the stuff on the about page. And they're like, all right, and they'll look at the videos, look at the reviews, maybe look at photos if you got it there, and then they'll just contact you. Like, look at that. See, it just looks cool. Everything about his website focuses on the experience of hiring him. And so that's essentially what you focus on. Here's another person. I don't know who this person is, but I just kind of Googled funny motivational speaker, and she popped up. She has a great website. Like, notice that her website is focused purely on the experience that she provides. She's not saying, oh, I talk about changing the lives and 3 bullet points are 1, meditate, 2, jump up and down, and 3. She doesn't do any of that stuff. Like, look, as soon as I go to her website, it says, bam, wildly entertaining. That's one of the things there. You see she's laughing there. Best speaker in years. And then you see there's the big crowd, the hands raised. She obviously has energy, side splitting, hilarious. Notice she's strictly focused on the experience that she provides when you bring her in. That's what you have to do when you are building up your website. Notice she says funny motivational speaker. She doesn't have like some weird way of describing herself. It's very clear. She's like, I'm a motivational speaker and I'm freaking hilarious. It's really that simple. And then as you scroll down, there's logos and all sorts of other stuff. But notice she focuses on the experience of hiring her. So that's what you have to focus on. So let's see. Elaine said, did he say one image was 35? No. I didn't say an image was 35. I said the layout. So if you guys go to themeforce.net and you just want like really cool website themes, then you can go to themeforce.net and just look at these themes and then just buy one of these. Or you can just buy the Divi theme. I always recommend the Divi theme because it's really easy and it is good. Like this theme actually, So all I did was look at the homepage, right? Now I do more than just look at the homepage, by the way. When I'm looking at themes, I look at everything. Like, what can this thing actually do? And another thing that I'm looking for when I buy a theme is I also look to see, are they constantly updating it? How long has it been around? Because a lot of the times, well, in the past, what happened was I bought a theme. I thought it was great. I'm like, this is a great looking theme. I built out a great website. I'm like, oh, this thing is the bomb. That's what I'm talking about. And I thought it was amazing. Then all of a sudden they stopped updating the theme. And so I had to eventually change my entire website. I had to change the whole layout because they stopped updating the thing. So what I essentially do is I look to see, like, is there a community around this theme? Is it like one of the best selling themes? I mean, are they going to keep updating this theme? That's what I'm kind of looking for. So I don't really buy the new themes that are coming out because for all you know, I mean, it might look good, but then all of a sudden 2 months later or a year later, they just stop updating the theme and now you got to switch your website. So that's essentially one of the things I look for. So like with this website, I look at little things, right? So like here, when I click on the about page, look at, they half-assed this. I mean, look at this. I clicked on the about page. That's horrible. Like, what did they do? They went from a great homepage to a half-assed about page, right? So I wouldn't actually buy this theme. On the other hand, if I were to go to, let's go to the best sellers. Where are the best sellers at? All right, so it says sort by newest. Let me go to best sellers here. So if I click on this one, the Avada theme, let's click on this. You can instantly tell that when it's a bestseller that they're going to keep updating it because it's a bestseller. There's no reason they're going to just stop selling it. They're going to be like, you know what? It's made us $1 million. We're just going to stop selling this thing. So you know if it's a bestseller, then they're going to keep updating the theme. So so if you look at this theme and you see like all the different templates they have for this theme, I'm thinking, okay, this is a really nice theme, the way it's built and everything. And they obviously don't half-ass what they do. So this is a theme that I would buy, right? But like I said, I just recommend the Divi theme anyways. So that's one of the things that I recommend doing when you guys are looking for themes for your website. Let's see, other questions here. Let's see, what theme was that? All right, Linda. All right, yeah, Linda's an amazing speaker. Yeah, Linda actually looks like an amazing speaker. Like, literally, that's the thing. So like, I don't know who Linda is. I literally just found her today, just earlier. But when I looked at her website, I was like, she's a type of speaker I would hire. Like, literally, I just glanced at her website. I'm like, see, that's the type of speaker I would hire because she just looks like a great speaker. And that's what people do. They just look at you and they look at your site and they say, this person just looks great. That's it. And then they'll go deeper and then they'll essentially say, Linda looks great. Bob looks great. This person looks great. Now let's kind of get into the details. Now they start to really narrow, like, okay, we'll hire this person instead of this person. So that's essentially what you're doing. Let's see. Elaine said, how much notice do you get when they retire a theme? You don't get any notice whatsoever. So you don't actually know if someone stops updating their theme or what. There's no possible way to know. It's just kind of like they built the theme, they uploaded it to ThemeForest, and they're trying to sell it. If it sells, they'll probably update it more and all that. Or, I mean, for all you know, the person could die like tomorrow or something, and then they just stop updating it. So you never really know. But a website or a theme like, let me show you guys, like Divi, right? So let's go to, oops, I can't actually see what I'm typing here. So I think this is it. Elegant theme. All right, yeah. So Elegant Themes. Let's see, where's their theme? Divi. So this is like, you can tell they strictly focus on basically this one theme right here, the Divi theme. And they keep updating the thing. I mean, just like constant updates. It's insane in terms of updates. They keep making this thing better and better. If the guy died, let's say the CEO of this company died, this company would still keep going and they would still keep updating the theme, right? And so that's why I chose this theme. Also because it's really easy to build, like you just drag and drop and all sorts of really good stuff. But essentially when I'm looking at a theme, I don't just look at the overall look. I now look to see, are they going to be around for a while? That's one of the biggest things. Just because in the past it just happened to where I bought several themes and then they just stopped updating the thing and I just got pissed off. I was like, man, forget this. I'm gonna buy a theme where I know they're going to keep updating the thing. So understand that when you are building your website, you have to think about that in terms of the actual looks of your site. So like Mike here, let me look at Mike's website. So first thing I do, all right, so let me scroll through. Like, okay, so it's pretty decent in terms of everything. But Mike, I know you're using the Divi theme. So Mike, what you essentially want to do is right now, like you have some great pictures. Like see the crowd here, I mean, jaws dropped. And so it's like you have great pictures like this crowd here. There's a huge crowd there. Well, there's a crowd around you. There's this guy laugh. All these people are having a great time. So you focus on the experience, which is great. Now I would focus on how do I make the layout better? And so if you look, and what I mean by layout is like, let's say I go here to industry icon. This uses the Divi theme. Look at this. So you see how this video here, like how there's the purple background and then it overlaps onto the regular background here. Little things like that matter. And little things like that, it kind of shows, oh, this is a really cool looking website. Or for example, let me go, let's see, where's it at? So let's go here. So like small details like that actually matter. And let me scroll down on this when this loads. So this was just something I was just kind of playing around with. So like this here, notice this where it says like, all right, there could be a picture of you in the background. It says hire John Doe to speak at your event. The button here, and then here, look at this microphone. How the microphone, it's half on the purple background and half on the regular background with a little shadow there. So little things like that kind of make your theme. It makes your website look really, really nice. And people are like, oh, all right, this is pretty cool. And so little things like that, it kind of depends on the theme in terms of what's possible. And that's why I tend to look at themes. This is actually a theme of one of my sites. And like this here, so like see how there's the picture and that text right there overlaps on the picture. Here they can essentially like move through blog posts. And then here, like see the spotlight thing coming from the side. Little things like that matter, and it makes your website look kind of cool. And so that combined with pictures, it just makes your website look like a really nice, good looking website. So you guys got to make sure that you're doing little things like that if you want to improve your websites. If you don't have pictures or videos, you have to get creative. It's something that we constantly talk about inside of Speak Pro Academy, where you just have to get creative with stuff to where you buy things like on Shutterstock, you buy pictures of like an event space or something. You combine that with pictures of you, and you just make a really nice looking image. That's kind of what you're doing. But just understand that when you are building up your websites, you have to think if you want to get paid to speak, you have to look like you're worth paying for. All right. And now let me go through a couple other, let me delete that. All right. Went over Bob's, went over that. All right. So what are some other websites you guys have? Let me see. Oh, where was, all right. So let's see. The website's kind of scrolled up a little bit. So I got to see. All right, so I'm going to go to corporate cabaret. Dang, I can't see what I'm typing in. Corporatecabaret.org. All right, so let's go there. All right, let me show you guys what I'm looking at. So Michael, is this your website here? All right, so this is your website, okay. All right, so let's see. So I'm just kind of looking through. Now, what's funny is actually entertainers tend to do this a lot better than speakers in terms of showing the experience that they provide. And I guess it's just because entertainers, that's all they focus on anyways, is, hey, I'm an entertainer, I focus on the experience. Whereas speakers tend to do it way wrong. I mean, they're completely wrong. They focus on the content instead of the experience. Someone like that Linda lady where she was like, hey, this is a funny motivational speech. She was doing it perfectly. I mean, she's like, hey, this is funny. It's a great speech. And so entertainers always do this better than speakers when they focus on that. What I would essentially do with this website is, once again, I would think more in terms of the layout. So I would think, how can I improve this layout? So let me see. Whoops. So let's see what WordPress theme. I don't know what theme you're using. So so Michael Ross, if you know what theme this is, then type it in. All right. Yeah. So I can't see the theme that you're using. But essentially what I do is I look to see what's possible with the theme itself. Then I duplicate that. So I don't try to go from scratch. I do not, absolutely never build from scratch. I do not say, okay, here's a blank page. Now let me just build something cool. I don't do that because I know it's going to look dumb. I say, all right, here's a professional website designer. They've already built something that looks really cool. Let me just do the same thing. That's all I do. I just say, let me put my pictures in there. All right. So Michael, you say you had it built by a web designer. All right. And so what I would do with the website is, well, what you need is a completely new theme for your website. So let me go back. Let me show you guys this again. So you need a new theme for your website. So I'm assuming, I don't know when this website was built, but yeah, I would just get a completely new theme for the website, because let me show you guys once again what I do. So let me go back to this on ThemeForest here. I was talking about this the other day inside of Speak Pro Academy. We were going over this one right here. So this is like a gym theme, and it actually looks really, really cool in terms of the actual layout. So let's see. Let's go to this one. Now here's literally what I do. So first things first, I focus on the layout. I say, okay, look at this layout. It looks insanely cool. The way the navigation is right here, where there's a logo right here, the navigation, and then look at this diagonal part where you see when that loads, the orange thing pops up and the picture pops up. It looks really clean. It looks really, really smooth. So you would just put your picture here on the right side. You would put text here on the left side. So it says be part of the team, but you would put something like motivational speaker. And then here where it says get started, you would just put watch the videos of Benji Bruce. And so you just say watch the videos. Here, there's three things here. You can put 3 videos here. You can put 3 testimonials here. You can just change that up. Here, I would just get rid of all 3 of these, and I would put a single demo video right there. Then I scroll down. I would put watch more videos of Benji Bruce, and I would put watch them here. I'd scroll down. I'd put 3 video testimonials here. I scroll down, and like that's essentially all I'm doing. Like here, I would have a gallery. Scroll down some more. I'd probably delete this whole thing here. And this, look at this. This looks really cool. The way he's half on this background and half not, where there's the white space and then there's a blue part there. So he's half on, half off. And so that's essentially all I'm doing. I'm not building this from scratch. I'm looking to see this looks nice from the very get-go. So let me just duplicate what they already did. And I just put my own stuff in there. I put my videos in there, my pictures in there, and all that. And by the way, guys, if you don't have videos and pictures, that's why I suggest you join the Speak Pro Academy, because we talk about all that stuff. You guys instantly get pictures when you join the Speak Pro Academy. So I have all that for you. Let's see. Tammy said, "Is there one you know? Is there one you know of like this on Divi?" So Divi has like a million different things you can do with Divi. You can duplicate damn near everything on Divi. I mean, the way the diagonal is, you can do all that stuff on Divi. It's just a matter of, in fact, actually, let me just show you guys. All right, so let's do this. So this is Divi. So Divi, what's cool about this Divi is they have pre-built templates for you. So if I'm building up a new like a new website, right? I just go in here. I'm going to click this, use the Divi builder, and I'm going to click load layout. And this is like when you buy Divi, you automatically get these layouts, right? So instantly, look at all these pre-built websites that you already have. And this is just the start of it. I mean, they're going to actually add a lot more. But look, I'm going to click on this one here. So notice this. This is the let me just click view the demo. So I can literally just click use this layout, and then my website will instantly look like this. Let's see if it'll load. So it'll instantly be like this. Look at that. It just looks clean. I don't have to do anything. All I got to do is just put my own pictures in there, put my own videos in there, and bam, I have a really clean looking website. So here I would put my demo video. Here I'd probably put, I don't know, maybe testimonials or maybe video reviews. Here you put your picture on the right side, you put text on the left side. This is why I like Divi, all right? It's just so simple in terms of stuff you can do and all the stuff that they're adding to it. So that's really why I like Divi, just because they do that. And that's just one of the many that they have on their just inside of the program, right? But what you do is first thing you do is you look at the layout. Second thing you do is you start designing really cool looking images. And so you can design the cool images by getting professional shots of you, combining those, or you can just hire a graphic designer actually. And you just combine images of you with images of crowds, images of empty rooms. You just combine images and you get a graphic designer to design you something really insane, just really cool. Let's see, Michael Ross said which theme. So that theme was a Divi theme. If you guys go to Elegant Themes, elegantthemes.com, then you can just buy the Divi theme. So that's essentially what I do. Oh, and then last thing that I want to actually talk about is the copy of your website, right? So this is something I talked about. It was on this one guy's show, this guy Bradley. I was on his show, and a while ago, what happened was I was looking at this entertainer's website. In fact, let me go there right now. So let me show you guys this. So it's this guy, Darren Brown. I was looking at his website. This was years ago. I'm looking at his website, and obviously his website has changed. He's like the David Copperfield in the UK or something like that. His website changed big time. But essentially what they did is I went to the contact page, and I don't think it's here. Yeah, so it's not here anymore. But when I went to the contact page, he actually said, like, here it says interview. Actually, yeah, so it does say it, big letters. Interview requests. What they actually had instead of interview requests, it used to be something like for all media inquiries or something. It said contact XYZ email for all media inquiries. And I thought, like, dang, like, this dude's big time. Just have a separate email just for interview requests and just for media. So what I did is I put the same thing on my website. And so on my contact page, I put for availability, contact this email. For media inquiries, contact this email. And little things like that, it basically says, like this speaker is so big time that they need a separate email address just for the media inquiries that they're getting. Little things like that. That's what you want to communicate on your website. You don't want to communicate, hey, please hire me. You want to communicate that, hey, I'm so busy, I may not even be able to present at your event. That's what you want to communicate. So you want to use words like instead of saying like contact me, it's best to say to check for his availability, go here, right? Little things like that actually matter. And that's why I duplicated that guy's little idea there where it said interview requests and I put for media inquiries, right? Little things like it really does matter. It's a state of mind that you want to always be in no matter what. When people contact you, just no matter what. So you want to focus on the copy. And when you are focusing on the copy on your website, you want to use words like hilarious, entertaining, engaging, interactive. You want to use those words. Once again, I cannot stress the fact that people do not care. They do not care at all what your content is. Absolutely not. Your content it's low on the totem pole compared to why you actually get hired. Every person, even people who are hiring for seminars and conferences, where they say they're focused on content, even those people, they will not hire a boring speaker. So you focus on the experience that you provide when they bring you into that event. That's what you have to focus on. Let's see. Elaine said, did you confirm these websites can be hosted by GoDaddy? Sorry, had to step away. I don't really know. It's actually, speaking of GoDaddy, you only want to have your website name, your domain name on GoDaddy. Absolutely do not ever host your website on GoDaddy, because GoDaddy will screw you over on a whole new level. What GoDaddy does is GoDaddy essentially that you sign up. They're like, hey, by the way, do you want to pay for this email address? And they're going to charge you a ton of money for the email address. They're going to try to upsell you on a million different things. Then when you finally get your hosting, right? Let's say, so you're going to pay, let's say, I don't know, $10 a month for hosting or whatever they start you out as. So they always start you out as cheap. After about a month or so of you adding blog posts, of you adding a couple things, your website won't even be that big. They're going to say, hey, you used up too much space on your website. Your website is getting too big. We have to charge you $50 a month now. You have to upgrade your website. And that's what they're going to do. And they're going to keep doing that to you. Before you know it, you're going to be paying $150 a month for a shared server, and your website is going to keep going down all the time. I'm telling you, do not host on GoDaddy. Whatever it is, do not host on GoDaddy. If anything, host on, I heard like SiteGround is really good. I host on Liquid Web. There's WordPress Engine. There's Bluehost, HostGator, those types of other ones. Honestly, I would say everything except for GoDaddy. I can't stress this enough. GoDaddy will screw you over. I've heard it a million times. They just keep doing that. Yeah, see, Elaine, I don't know. I don't even know how they're still in business by doing that sort of stuff. Like you said, that happened with your email because, yeah, I mean, it's like what they do is essentially they'll charge like $15 for your email. Then literally after like a month, they'll say, oh, you're using up too much space. You got to now pay an extra $30 for your email address, right? So they do all sorts of crazy stuff like them. All right, name.com. Yeah, name.com. I heard of them. But yeah, just don't host on GoDaddy. Go with anyone except for GoDaddy. I buy my domains through GoDaddy, but I do not and will not ever host with them ever again. Ever. I just don't. Just look up the horror stories with them. So let's see. All right, yeah, Mel said when she switched, she went to Bluehost. Yeah. Any questions about your guys' websites and just how to build a great website in terms of your speaking? I do want to point out the thing that you guys really, really have to do is you have to focus on the experience. When you are creating your website is you have to really, really focus on the experience that you provide as a speaker. That's what it all comes down to. Let's see. Laura said, would you add Toastmasters International membership and that you have won speech contests at club? And all right. Let's see. All right. So let's go with the first part. So I would never, I just would never promote another person's business. Like absolutely. I would never promote another person's business on my website just because I wouldn't be generating any revenue from it. So the only time I would do something like that is I would essentially say, like, let's say you met with Oprah. If you met with Oprah, it's like, sure, you're kind of, well, if anything, she's promoting you. That's essentially what's happening is you're getting the social proof from someone like Oprah. You're not getting social proof from Toastmasters. The only time that social proof will actually happen with something like Toastmasters is if you won like the world championship of Toastmasters or something like that. If you did that, you can post that because now a lot of people, they kind of understand what Toastmasters is. And if they know that you're the world championship for 2016 of Toastmasters, that communicates you are a great speaker. It communicates, it kind of tells them this person's going to be a really good speaker, right? That's all you want to think about is, will this communicate to them that I'm a great speaker? So if you won Toastmasters, I would kind of post that on there. But I would never post like I'm a member of Toastmasters or I'm a member of this organization. I would absolutely never do that. It's pointless. It's really pointless. Let's see. The other question was, where was it? All right. Levels with your speeches video, despite videos being filmed on an iPhone. All right. Well, let me read that again. So would you, in that you have one speech contest and area levels with your speech, or would it be better to just, all right. So yeah, if I'm filming, let's say I filmed on an iPhone and the audio isn't all that great. Well, it kind of depends on how sucky the audio is. Like from a video person standpoint, if you were to tell this to a professional videographer, they'd be like, no, don't post that thing. No, the audio's horrible. But sometimes it's better to have that video than to have no video. Because what essentially a meeting planner is doing is they're just looking to see what reaction are you getting from an audience. That's all they're looking for. If they see the audience is laughing and they're like, they can barely hear it, but they see the audience is dying laughing, they're going to be like, oh, this is a great speaker. So it kind of depends on the video itself. If it's so low that I really can't hear it, then maybe I'll just use it for pictures or something like that. But it depends on the video itself. And in terms of, like you say, Wix, I wouldn't actually use Wix, by the way. I always use WordPress. I never use Wix. I tell people don't use, and just use WordPress, either WordPress or a completely custom designed website like Lewis Howes's website or like Tony Robbins' website is completely custom made. I wouldn't use Wix. Let's see. Eric said, now that I think of it, that happened too. All right. I'm assuming, Eric, yeah, you're talking about GoDaddy. Yeah, don't use GoDaddy, guys. Just don't use them. So yeah, the audio is fine. So the audio is fine. The filming isn't. So Laura, once again with this, I would have to kind of see the actual video footage itself and kind of say from there. It depends. Like I said, if I'm talking with my friend who's a professional videographer, he's going to say, no, this is horrible. Like the footage, it looks so bad. And so to me, I'd be like, no, you want to throw that on there. So it kind of depends. It's one of those where I would have to actually see the video itself. Then I could say, yeah, use it or don't use it. Any other questions about just building up your brand and building up your website and your speaker image or anything like that? But once again, guys, if there's one thing you leave with today in terms of your website, it's to focus on the experience. Focus on the experience of hiring you, not your content. Do not get cute with the type of speaker you are. Don't get cute with, oh, I'm a whoop-de-doo amazing speaker, whatever, however people describe themselves. Just make it very specific. Just say, I'm a motivational speaker. I'm an inspirational speaker. I'm a sales speaker. I'm a leadership speaker. Those are pretty much the only speakers who actually get hired, by the way. So just make sure you're very clear about the type of speaker you are. Then be very clear about when you hire me as a speaker, here's the reaction you're going to get. That's what your entire website is going to communicate. When you hire me, here's the reaction you're going to get. So that's why you have the video reviews where people are like, oh my goodness, that's holy snaps. So I got a review from Remax, actually, and this is one of the Remax executives. I used this review for the longest time because in the review, she was like, we just saw Benji Bruce and oh my God, that was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. My head hurts. Oh my. And she was like going off. I'm like, this is great. Like as I'm recording, I'm like, this is freaking great. And so I use that review for the longest time because it's the reaction that she has that made it such a great review. So that's essentially what you're doing when you're building up your website. You focus on the experience. You focus on, hey, when you hire me, here's what you're going to get. Let's see. D. Brown said, all right, if I'm at the very beginning of this journey, should I join the Speak Pro Academy now or after I get? You should join now. So here's the thing. If you wait, it's essentially going to take you years to actually get to a point where you're accomplishing anything. If you join the Speak Pro Academy now, I'm telling you, you got to do this, you do this, and you do this, and you'll get there a lot faster. Like right now, if you're in the beginning, you don't have pictures of big crowds. There's no possible way you have pictures of big crowds. When you join the Speak Pro Academy, you instantly get those pictures. I'm like, here's a picture of a big crowd. Like these are events that I've done that I've presented at, and I just take pictures when I'm at an event. I take pictures of the crowd. I take screenshots from video footage. I take pictures of empty rooms, and I upload those to the Speak Pro Academy so you guys can use them. So what essentially I'm doing inside Speak Pro Academy is I'm guiding you on the things that you should be doing and what you need to fix immediately. Honestly, there's only two things you need to do to build a speaking business. There's one, you focus on your image, you focus on your website, and two, you focus on your systems, like your event prospecting systems, like how you find events and how you contact events. So knowing that you should do those things, now it comes down to doing those things right. So I see so many speakers that everyone has a website. A ton of people have a website, but very few of them actually have a great website that will get them paid to speak on a stage. And so we talk about all that stuff inside Speak Pro Academy. I help you out with all that. Honestly, when people say, I want to speak for a living and they do not join the Speak Pro Academy, I'm like, dude, come on now. It's going to take you like 5 years to actually do this instead of like 1 year or even faster in terms of actually, if you just join the Speak Pro Academy and just let me help you out. So I always recommend get inside Speak Pro Academy. We strictly focus on getting you on stages. I mean, there's several people, there are guys in here right now, Alio, Mike, like all these guys, they'll tell you like, yeah, Speak Pro Academy, that's all we do is we just focus on getting you on stages. Let's see. Ricardo said, please mention how to get video. So we don't have enough time to do that right now, Ricardo. So we're going to talk inside Speak Pro Academy. Ricardo's a Speak Pro member, so we'll talk about that as well. And let me see. I know there's a module on that actually inside the Speak Pro Academy as well. So let's go back here. But there actually is a complete module. I believe it's inside of the brand builder section that talks about how to get video footage when you don't have any. Let's see. It's in there for sure. But either way, yeah. So like here where it says videos, right? So just listen to this, and I talk about or getting videos actually. Listen to this one, and then you'll essentially see. Here's how I talk about getting videos, right? So like Elio said, true. I joined Speak Pro a little more than a year ago when I had very little under my belt. Benji helped me go from this to this. Yeah, and I'm assuming those are links to his website. Yeah, because like I said, Elio's website in the beginning, I was like, Elio, come on, man, Elio, we got to work on your website. So we worked on his website, and now Elio has a great website. Actually, let me just show you. So let's go here. So what we do is we focus on first on your website, then on your systems for getting you on stages. So if this thing will load here. All right, so yeah, so it's like little things in terms of like you see the crowd and everything. So once again, I'm like scrolling through and all that. So we focus on little things and little things like that. That's what's going to get you on stages. Oh, a demo. Okay, so those are links to his demo. But yeah, but essentially what we're doing in terms of Speak Pro Academy is we just focus on how do we get you booked. That's my number one thing is how do I get you booked on a stage? That's all I'm thinking about. So yeah, I really suggest you join the Speak Pro Academy, and I really made it. I made it affordable for everyone. So it used to be $5,000. Well, not used to be. It still is $5,000 for a lifetime, and then it was $2,000 for a year access. Now I say, you know what? Let me do month to month as well. So if you guys just want to pay for a month and that's it, you can pay for a month. You can pay $299 per month. So I just want to make sure that no one has excuses as to why they're not building their business unless they're just not truly serious about it. There's no possible way you're going to be able to do this by yourself because you don't know what to do. You don't know how to build your website in the right way. Everyone has a website, but very few people realize how to make the website great. Everyone understands you should probably contact events, but very few people have a system built out to know how to contact those events. So you have to make sure you're doing the right things. Any questions, any other questions before we're done here in terms of like building out your website and just building out your brand in terms of your speaker image or anything like that? But yeah, once again, I just want to stress that focus on the experience. On the experience. That's what you focus on is you say, what you're essentially saying is when you hire me, here's the experience that you're going to get. Here's what's going to happen at your event. When you hire me, people are going to die laughing at your event. It's going to be the funniest speech in the world. When you hire me, it's going to be insanely interactive. People are they're going to leave there saying, man, that was the best experience ever. That was the best event. Out of all the events they put on before, that was the best one. Man, that guy just blew me away. This speaker blew me away. That's what you're focusing on when you're building your website. You focus strictly on that. Any other questions before we're done here? We got a few minutes. I'm going to wait for a few seconds. And I just want to remind you guys, once again, experience. Focus on the experience. All right, I'll wait for a couple seconds. All right, guys. So thank you all for showing up. And we're done here. So I will talk to you guys eventually. Talk to you guys sometime soon. And any other questions? Last? Nope. All right, cool. Thanks, guys. I will talk to you guys maybe next week or maybe in a couple days. I'll do more of these Facebook Lives. So I will see you soon.